here is a tour of our home. You can see that the trash cans are over there. They need to be in the street for garbage day. The garbage day is every Thursday morning. Here is the entryway. Front. This is going to be not staged at the moment, but when you enter, you just push the button. Oh, it does auto lock, but there's a button here, and then you're going to enter the code. It does auto. The deadbolt does auto lock, so I'll come on. Here you come into the living room, and we'll have our visitor guest book here. And I usually, yeah, that looks good. And coming into here, we have the TV. There is a remote there. This is how the pillows are kind of set up in this room. I have all of these lights on when guests check in. The side table lamps, just because it looks a little bit nicer, and sometimes I check in late at night. So these are on. I do have a set of extra blankets here as well. This is just the fan. The fan only turns on this way. We don't actually turn it on manually. So there's something hanging there, but we don't use that. Again, this is a little bit, we're still getting ready. This is, excuse our stuff. But this table won't have any things on it. This is the table. Looking at it, we have 2 trash cans. The trash cans open, there is they open here to put anything in it. And then to lift it, you just pull this. One side is recycling, that does not get a liner. This side is garbage. It does get a liner. Garbage and recycling are picked up on the same day. Walking into here, you can see that we normally don't have a bottle of wine, but this is left over, so we're just gonna leave it. This is for our next upcoming 2 guests. We just leave an assortment of chips, a couple Nature Valley microwave popcorn, and some Keurig pods. I'll have these labeled of how many I put on for each guest, but you know, if there's only 2 guests, I kind of like to make it look full, but if there's, 4 guests, this is sufficient enough. If there's 6, keeping in mind how it looks, but not giving them, overloading them with things. This is going to be, this is kind of the condiment cabinet. There's a few things left over by people, but one time we had somebody leave, there's a little bit of oil in there. One time we had somebody leave like refrigerated, stuff that was supposed to be refrigerated. So, if there's something in there that looks old or empty, we can throw that away. It's okay to leave a few things for guests, but I don't want it to look cluttered or yucky. I do leave a couple water bottles for each person in the fridge. There are some creamers in here if people would like to use them. The rest of the stuff I typically take out. There's a couple of our things left over. This is mine and this is mine. And then coming into here, we do have obviously microwave, stove. This needs to be obviously cleaned, and check under here as well because crumbs tend to kind of accumulate under here. A fresh towel. The air fryer should be cleaned. This should be emptied out, and make sure that the Keurig is emptied out from the last guest as well and just kind of wiped down. We do have a new sponge. We have sponges in the supply closet, so I replace them after every guest. This is the hand soap, so this needs to be refilled the moment. And then this one is a dish soap, and then you just screw this off and to refill it. Check those. Obviously, empty the dishwasher. Make sure that there's no dishes in there. We do have a hand rack just in case. And we'll wipe down the counters. We do have some pool towels located here at the entryway. Here are the pillows that go here. It's just kind of an overall view of this area. We'll go out to the patio in a minute. So this is the supply closet, and keep a few hangers in here, some brooms, a step stool. I don't think there's anything on this side. There's nothing on this side at the moment. Moving into the master bedroom. Excuse the mess, but this is where we keep these. So this is a heater, in case somebody needs a heater. And then there's the TV, the remote, and then there's a fan that's always here. And the bed is not made yet. I do have these lights on when people enter. And this is a suede headboard and bed set. So I just make sure there's no hair stuck to it. Dust kind of tends to accumulate here. So I do have a lint roller, take a lint roller to it. Sometimes this gets pulled up or down. So just before, in the final photo, just to make sure that's covered up so that the mattress is not showing. I will also show, what the staging looks like in terms of towels. I'll send pictures of this. And so this is the shower area. These need to be refilled and make sure they are full. And then this is the soap, lotion, and just taking a video of this area just to show what it looks like. There's a bunch of hangers in here. There is a steamer and an iron in here. And a few extra blankets and pillows. Maybe I'll grab this for later. Okay, so moving on from the bathroom. There is also, wanted to point out, there is a trash can here. We had guests say that they wanted more trash cans. So trash can there, another trash can in there. This is the toilet area. That needs to be cleaned. I like the toilet seats to be down when guests arrive. We had some cleaners leaving them up, and I just felt like that looked a little unput together, so I prefer to have the toilet seats down. Moving into this bathroom. Again, sorry for the mess, but just like to have it on record what everything looks like. We have 3 shampoo, conditioner, and body wash in here. There's also a squeegee. Very similar setup. This is the countertop, making sure this is clean and these are filled. This is ours personally. Towel rack. Here is the full-size room. Again, this is not made. Each room has tissues in it, so please make sure that the tissues are, at least, if they're getting low, there are extra tissues in the supply closet. Check all of these after guests check out to make sure that nobody's left anything. TV remote goes there. Light goes here. There's a light here. There is a trash can here that needs to be taken out. Another fan. A little TV. There's a blanket up there if people want it. And again, just kind of an overall... Sorry, you scared me. Sorry. I was just taking a video. You scared me. This is the supply closet. So the supply closet will have, I guess nothing up there. We did have some other things. There's some dark towels in here for people if they need anything. Backup towels, kitchen towels. Let people know that. There is a trash can. This is the queen size bedroom, a luggage rack. Trash can here, another set of tissues, a backup blanket here. Again, this bed has not been made at the moment. TV, and then there's the TV remote there. So I like to have this lamp on. These lamps work. Smoke detector. Just like to take an overall view of this room for reference. And moving on to the laundry room, we typically leave guests 4 Tide Pods. I mean, if they're here for a really long stay, we leave them more, but we try to ration the Tide Pods. Fabric softeners, nobody's really gonna take much of those, so we just leave these out. or softener sheets. The washer and dryer do not work great. Unfortunately, at the moment, we have a Whirlpool at the Samsung, and the dryer only has one setting, and the washer is just, it doesn't work. It doesn't clean that great. So typically what we'll do is we have powder in the supply room for cleaning these, and we put the powder in first because it tends to dissolve better that way. I will then move on to the supply closets. There is a trash can out here. This is in the garage, so make sure that this trash can is emptied. I don't know how many people actually use it, but it was an extra one we had. This is the supply closet, and these two have just kind of extras. So like we have all of this in our main supply closet. This supply closet is sort of like the extra supplies, if that makes sense. So if we're running low on things or things that we don't use as often. There's also some sponges in here for the kitchen. And it's also important to note that when you come in here, this is going to be locked. We'll provide the code here, but the code unlocks this padlock. And then in here, there are going to be a few different keys. The only key that you should really need is the supply room key, and this goes into the supply room. So I will show you where the supply room is, which is the last room we have to tour. So this is typically locked, and this key goes here. When you're done, just put the key back, and this is our supply room. So in here, it's just kind of tools and things that you probably won't need these things, but you know, they're just kind of things that we have. Most of the stuff that you're going to need is here. So we have towels. We have full queen and king size sheets, an extra set for each thing. We have extra tissues up here if needed, tissue boxes, extra beach towels, extra other towels. Bath towels are in here. Hand towels are in here. Washcloths. And then we also have makeup towels as well in here. I can go over I think I already kind of went over how many things to put, but we have all of our supplies for the food in here. So just a little welcome basket to give everybody. So this is the popcorn, an assortment of chips, granola bars, a Tide Pods, some tea. And down here, this is kind of less used, but here's a laundry soap for the linen. So this is what I prefer to use because we've found that with the Tide Pods in that washing machine, they just tend to leave spots everywhere. And this, if you put this in first, tends to clean a little bit better. We're working on getting a new washer, but that's what works best for now. There's also some extra Tide Pods for guests. There's a few of these that go underneath the kitchen sink. There's in a little Tupperware, so we leave some for guests. This is our baby supplies. So there is a pack and play. There is a high chair, and then so anytime we have babies or little kids in the booking, I set this out for them. These are sheets for the pack and play. So these can all go out when there is baby staying. Extra paper towels, extra toilet paper. Again, there is even more in that supply closet in the garage, but this, should be enough to last a little bit of while. And there are also extra comforters, typically here, pillows. This part is really just like my own stuff that I keep in here, so you don't need to worry about that. Vacuum cleaner if you need one. And I think that's pretty much the supply closet area in here. And then moving on to the last is just the outside. Have an outside area. This unlatches. It's one of those pool safety latches. So you got to pull the latch and pull the door. This pool cover is off right now, but it should be covered before guests arrive, just because it keeps the pool warm. and I typically tell guests to leave it on. There are sometimes leaves that fall from that tree, so they need to be cleaned up. In the corner there, a lot of times they accumulate in that corner, so they really do need to be cleaned up. These I wash every time, so these are not on. This doesn't look how it will look, but these are being washed at the moment. And this is our outdoor table, so this just needs to be wiped off. The table, chairs need to be wiped off. This is our grill. The grill needs to be cleaned if it's been used, and then make sure the propane is turned off. I do have a sign that says turn off propane, but it's just good to make sure that it's turned off. This is our, you shouldn't need to access this area, but the code is the same for all of these padlocks, and this is the back area as well. We have these locked because we don't want guests or anybody else coming back here. It's just, you know, with the propane tanks and everything, it's not safe. So, just getting this is what this looks like. And that is pretty much it. These go inside. These are just being cleaned right now. I'm gonna take a video of just this area. There are some extra pool toys in the storage shed. So there's a storage shed right here. And this is just where we keep extra things, like there's some trash over there, things that we can't use. So that is about it. That is our house. Trying to think if there's anything else. This is the pool light. And there is a outlet right there. There is a trash can right here. So that needs to be taken out. And like, let's see. I'm just gonna take a video of what the underneath of this looks like. Leave some pods for guests here to use, bags. And I think that's kind of it.